Hey, welcome to the show. I am Lisa. I'm all tongue-tied and twisted. Candy, help me. We're
right.
Mistress Business. Mistress Business. Here we are.
I don't know where my whip is. So I think tonight, because I was going to whip you into shape, woman. Anyway, listen.
Okay.
Let me take over.
Yes, because I remember you had something to say, and I get like, wait a minute, I gotta say something. I gotta send it to Candy, and I got all tongue twisted. Anyway, Candy, take it away.
Awesome. Well, first of all, welcome to the show, everybody. It's a Tuesday night. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. We always have a good time here on Mistress Business. But before we bring in our beautiful guest, who you see at the bottom of our screen there, I do have a couple of announcements to make here on the show. These are exclusive. Nobody's heard these, announcements yet. So pay close attention. This is going to be awesome. I promise you that. Okay. So I'm so excited. I'm just too excited. I'm over the moon. Okay. So every year we have a really great community here in the podcasting world. We have podcasters from all over America, all over Europe, just about anywhere you can imagine. The camaraderie between these podcasters is so unbelievably awesome. And Lisa and I can safely say that we're very privileged and honored to be a part of this community. So with that being said, yep, absolutely. So with that being said, every year there's a special event that is just geared to podcasters. You've heard of NAMM, you've heard of Maryland Death Fest, you've heard of M3. These are all huge festivals that celebrate the work and the art of several bands and just about every art form there is out there. Well, we have a special event that we are going to be a part of this year. It's called Rock and Pod. Now, I went to Rock and Pod Expo in Nashville 2 years ago. It was the first time I went, and it was great. It was so surreal because, your social media life and your podcasting world just comes to life. Everybody's, flown in from all, corners of America. We all get together and we have a good time. So
it's a huge party. Yay!
Yes. I'm very proud to announce that Mistress Business will be an appearing podcast at Rock and Pod this year. So excited. Yes. Round of applause. So excited. So everybody is welcome to come to Rock and Pod, come and hang out with us. We will have our whips and crops, raising a little bit of money.
Tell them about the code.
I will. Hang on, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Don't forget, I'm gonna whip you into shape. And where's my freaking whip? Anyway.
Whip me.
So yeah, guys, come and hang out with us. Come see us at the table. We'll be doing tons of interviews. We will have another announcement coming at a later date as somebody who is actually appearing at our table. We're super excited about that. We will have our whips and crops with us, raising a little bit of money. So you're free to pick a whip, pick a crop, and whip us. $5. We're going to raise some money for a good cause. Just super excited about that. And the last thing I wanted to put out there is actually a special promotion happening right now. Anybody who wants to buy not VIP. VIP is not included. No, it's early entry and general admission tickets to Rock and Pod. If you see at the bottom of your screen there, we have a little ticker showing. There's a promo code. If you go into rock the letter N pod.com. Okay, rockandpodexpo.com. You want to look at that promo code. If you enter that code, buy your general admission or early admission ticket, you will get 20% off. I better get my facts straight. 20% off on a general admission or early admission ticket to the event if you use that code down there, Mistress Business. And we will be promoting the shit out of this, guys. So pay attention to our Facebook pages, all our social medias. We're super excited to announce once again, we will be appearing at Rock and Pod March 17th, 18th, and 19th in Nashville, Tennessee this year. Go to rockandpodexpo.com and buy your tickets. Hit that promo code for 20% off. How about that? How awesome is that?
Yay!
Yes.
Now, welcome to the show, Steffi Scott.
Yes.
Tell us.
Hi, guys.
Yay! Glad to have you here and I have to watch my tongue because I'm always saying Front Row Promotions, and our show, Mistress Business, is fairly new. So if I say Front Row Promotions, I mean Mistress Business.
Okay,
so
seriously.
Welcome to Mistress Business.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So tell us something about you. What do you do? Where are you from? We want to learn about you.
Yeah, of course. So My name is Steffi Scott, and I am a burlesque performer. I live in
Ooh,
Las Vegas, Nevada.
nice.
And
Wonderful. We all love Vegas. That's awesome.
right? Fun place to live, let me tell you.
Oh, it's
Exhausting
a
place to live, but so fun.
party all the time, huh?
You could say that.
Yes.
I'm originally from Germany.
Oh,
Ooh,
But yeah, I've been
cool.
here in the States for
well,
since
thank you for joining us.
for a
Danke.
while.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, this is home now. I've been here about 11 years.
Oh, so
And
cool. So cool.
I'm also the wife of Joey Scott, who is the founding member of Lizzie Borden
Yes.
and
Awesome.
drummer of Lizzie
Oh,
Borden
so
as well.
cool.
So yeah,
Yes.
I've been a tour manager for them as well for the last 15 years. Yeah, it's gonna be
Amazing.
Wow.
15 years this year. 2023 is 15 years. So
Very
yeah.
cool.
Well,
So
congratulations on
great.
that. That's
Thank
a
you.
Yes,
milestone for sure. Um,
absolutely.
but we want to know more about like you personally. Like, so you said you're a burlesque performer.
Hmm.
How long have you been doing that?
So burlesque here in Las Vegas is something that I found my way to just at the tail end of COVID.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Oh,
it
Okay.
okay.
I've been a dancer and a performer my whole life. I
Okay.
Wow.
dabbled a little bit of burlesque in Germany, but to really go full 100% full board with burlesque, I'm actually still in my first year here in Las Vegas.
Oh
Nice.
wow.
So it's gonna be my
Oh,
my 1 year burlesque birthday in February.
yay!
Yay.
Oh.
So
So tell us about what burlesque, what kind of dancing, and what do you do? And how does it feel to be up on the stage? And how does the audience take to, how does that all feel?
Yeah, I mean, what do I feel when I'm on stage? I have to say, I think I've always meant to be on stage. It started when I was a little kid. I would play dress up and put on little plays and dances for my family, and
Oh,
and
oh
so I always wanted to be on a stage, and I
oh,
do
right.
I made thankfully was lucky enough to make a career out of that. For me to be on a stage, what I love about it is just how it makes me feel when I can dance, when I can be on stage, the the freedom and happiness that I feel. It just makes me whole. It makes me feel at ease, and
Awesome.
also to connect, with my audience. How
oh,
the connection you make, it's you're giving a little, you're giving a, not just a little, you're giving a big piece of yourself, and to have that, give that to others, and you leave it all there on the floor. And
gotcha.
so yeah, that's to me is just everything.
That's awesome. I like that. Well, you also said you were a model as well. What places, what kind of modeling did you do? What did you?
I've dabbled a bit of modeling simultaneously as with dancing. I've done modeling in Germany. I've done back in Germany a lot of stuff for car shows. Actually, I was a promotional model for Jägermeister and
Oh,
for
wicked.
some of those
Nice.
those those kind of events, and did some fashion shows in Germany as well. And now in the most recent years, maybe the last 8 years, 5 to 8 years, mostly pinup modeling. So pinup,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
beautiful.
vintage, which goes a lot hand in hand with the burlesque, the love of burlesque and the love of vintage and retro lifestyle. So
Okay.
I've done a lot of pinup modeling as well.
Sweet, sweet. I know at one point in time I wanted to be a model, but at that time I was a little too shy and backwards, and I'm like, I wanted to, but I just could never do it.
I
Just
can't
never
even tell you how it happened for me. It just happened. I never went, oh, I'm going to be a model. Like, oh, I'm going to be a dancer. That I
yeah,
did, but
yeah,
modeling just
yeah.
kind of, I don't know. It was, it just happened somehow.
Just something that happens. Yeah. Oh, so
So
cool.
there obviously there is a difference. A lot of people get it confused. Burlesque versus stripping and stuff like that. Can you please debunk that? Because there's a lot of common misconceptions about, one versus the other. What's the difference?
Well, I mean, yes, burlesque can be a form of stripping.
Okay.
But I'm not the one to say what burlesque is and what it isn't, because it is everything. It is
I
so
see.
all encompassing of different styles. What I do now in burlesque is what I've learned my whole life being on stage, being a dancer.
Okay.
All the different dance styles are morphing into burlesque,
Right.
and it's art that plays with the whole wheel of emotions, I feel.
Okay.
It plays on irony, it plays on humor, on comedy, magic, variety. It's burlesque has a long history. If you want to
So
learn
there's
more.
more. So basically, what you're saying is there's more content, as
More
far
of a
as maybe a
show.
storyline or a
Yes.
show
Yes,
versus.
it's Broadway, it's variety, it's vaudeville, mixed with dancing and with a sexy element, of course, where it's
Yep.
what I recently heard a term I loved, artfully disrobing.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
okay.
like
Ooh. Hey.
Okay.
that.
Mhm.
So yeah, and of course a lot of work goes into that, developing a routine and the costuming. We all do our
Yeah,
own
so I was going to
costuming.
ask you about the costumes and how do you put all those together? Do you put them together yourselves, or do you have a certain uh, like routine that you put together, or do you follow the other ones? And do you put your own costume together?
Yeah, so usually with my routines, they either get born out of a song I hear where I want to do a routine to that
Okay.
song, or a theme or a story I want to tell. Um,
Oh,
and
okay.
and
Hmm.
so out of that, yes, you create a concept, and the costuming is a huge part of it. And I am doing my own costumes. Sometimes I get help. I know my way around my sewing machine, but I am certainly not a costume maker.
Right.
Although I wish I was and I had those skills, those mad skills, but I don't. But so I sometimes get help with sewing work. But when it comes to putting together, the burlesque outfit in and of itself, and the rhinestoning, there's a lot of rhinestones in burlesque,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah. The
so to
glitter, the
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 glitter, the
flash.
rhinestones,
Yeah.
yep, and to embellish those costumes and shoes and fans and whatever, all the props and all of that. And yeah, then to put together the routine, the song, the movements. I get help from my husband with the music because he happens to be a musician and has a music studio, so he
There
helps
you
me with
Right.
go.
mixing
Yes,
the
that there
tracks,
you
comes in
go.
super handy. Yeah. And so yeah, that can take quite a bit of time, from idea to execution.
Right. Now, how long of a time, like when you're on the stage, how long of a show is it? How that it goes for?
So I would say on average, it's the length of a song, one song, 1 to 2 songs. Sometimes it's 2 songs mixed into one track. So I think it could be anywhere from 2.5 to 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, sometimes
Okay,
6. So yeah,
that's cool. That's very very cool.
thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I just had a question in mind and it slipped.
it just went out.
God damn it. Lisa, go for it.
Do you wear the things on your head,
The
uh, the
headpieces,
headpieces, and yeah, and all that? Is that
yeah,
still? Oh
that's still a thing. That's still, I feel
wow!
especially drawn to the classic showgirl, the classic Vegas showgirl with the
Yeah,
big headpiece, the
Wow.
feather boas,
yeah.
the tail and the corsets. So
Is
I
it
actually recently did
heavy?
a
You
photo
gotta
shoot in that.
balance yourself and everything. Wow. And then the dancing on top of it.
And then the dance and look at doing it, right? So
Wow.
or try.
Let's
But
do
yeah,
one more. I give you, oh my goodness, we love
thank
you.
you.
How do you deal with that? I mean, that's such a huge headpiece. Is there a way that you keep it on? Like, okay, I'm sure it's fallen off before at some
Do you
point from
strap it
longevity.
Sure.
down,
Like,
I
attach?
mean,
how do you get it to stay and not fall when you're dancing up there?
So there's different methods, if you can make a custom headpiece where it's custom made to the size of your scalp, and you may have your base that is your base that it fits and it won't come off. I mean, of course you want to avoid headbanging in a headpiece.
That's
That does not work.
go. Yeah.
No.
So, and flipping your hair. I don't wear a headpiece for all of my routines. I would say it's actually lesser routines where headpieces are still worn, but there's still always something going on. And even if it's just a big ostrich feather clipped to your hair, where your head is part of the costume. You have to embellish it somehow, and but that's a little cap or a feather or the whole headpiece. Just always depends on what the number is.
That's true.
So in your career, dancing and now burlesque, has there ever been anything questionable as far as how your audience reacts, or like has there ever been anything weird that you've witnessed or encountered?
I mean, I think I would lie if I'd say no. In my career of dancing, I was a go-go dancer for, I don't know, I always say 10 years, but I think it's somewhere between 10 and 15.
Okay.
You see a lot. Of course, there's crazy things that have happened, and but I was always safe. I was
Good.
always, nothing bad ever happened. Where I would suffer injury or from. But yeah, crazy things happen at night.
Yeah.
Lisa, back to you.
The type of like the dancing, is there any certain traits that you have to follow? Like what you put into it?
With burlesque, there's no have to. You don't have to do anything. You do you, and you do what you want to do, and that is what I love about it so much. It's so um, all encompassing, empowering, and accepting of all styles of dance and types of people and styles.
Right.
So I bring in everything that I've learned or things that I like doing. I have my rock numbers. Of course I'm a rock chick at heart. I'm married to a heavy metal drummer, so I have my neo burlesque routines that are to a Nine Inch Nail song or another rock song, or classic as well. I have my classic numbers, my classic routines. So there's nothing that I really have to do. Just whatever
Okay.
the story I want to tell, what I want to communicate and put out there.
That's just whatever
Well,
you want to do, how you want to express what you're feeling, and
Right.
in that song or that story that you want
Right.
to
And then
bring out.
hoping people like it and it resonates with them, of course,
Exactly.
that you connect with the audience in some way.
That's the thing. Now, is there like, do you have a large audience that comes out for this?
So I've had large audiences and I've had small audiences. I've
Oh,
performed in throughout my whole dancing career as a whole. I danced in clubs with 5 people, and I've performed on festival stages. I think the biggest audience that we had was, I think, 85,000,
Holy
and
shit.
anything in between. So
right,
um, it just depends on the venue, and
right,
and I'm for me it's the same process regardless of what the amount of faces in front of me is. I
right. No
I
matter
put in
what,
just this
yeah,
yeah, I put in just as much energy and excitement that I give to them, they give back to me. And of course, a roaring giant crowd, that is certainly something. But
right,
I also very much love the small intimate shows where you really
Yeah.
you look to the people in
It's
the eye,
more
you go up to them
personable.
and you connect, and
yeah.
yeah, I
It's more
absolutely
So
love those.
close.
give me maybe your top three on this one. Are there any songs or types of music or anything that you've wanted to put a routine to but haven't done it yet?
Should see my Spotify playlist that I have that I want to do too. I said like over 50 tracks on there currently. So there's a lot. It's hard to pinpoint. I do want to do a Lizzie Borden number. I want to do some routine to a Lizzie Borden song. I have one in mind. I'm not ready to share yet, but that is definitely one
Can
of my goals.
can I throw an idea out there maybe?
Please, I'm
Okay.
all ears.
So maybe a Halloween routine for next year to There Will Be Blood Tonight.
That's always a classic, isn't
Oh
it?
yes.
Definitely. I did a Lizzie Borden photo shoot last year, dressed
Oh,
as Lizzie
wicked.
Borden
Oh,
with an axe
nice.
in the
Oh,
forest.
so cool.
That's when that idea came. It was like an Edwardian dress, and that was really cool.
That is awesome.
So that, and then I also I like so many different styles and genres of music. Where I would love to do a 1920 slapper number. I would love to tap dance to it if I'm gonna have to take some
Oh, that would
lessons.
be cool.
So, or I am also a little bit of a raver at heart. I love electronic music. I used to be a raver in my early 20s, and still
Right.
actually till this day enjoy going to a rave maybe once a year.
Okay.
And so to do something that's more upbeat and maybe within that something nerdy. I don't know. There's so many ideas.
Oh, that is so
That is
cool.
awesome. Awesome.
So, is there any places like I know you saying you're in Las Vegas? Where would you like to dance? Is there like a place that you would like to go to, like a major different place or a different?
Yeah. There's actually one place where I would one day love to perform. And that is in Germany. It's a place in Berlin called
Ooh.
Wintergarten, and that's where basically all of my idols have performed and continue to perform.
How did you pronounce that?
Winter, like winter, garden.
Winter Garden.
Yeah, but it's instead of a D, it's a T in German. Wintergarten
Winter Garden.
Okay.
in Berlin.
That's
And
so
it's
cool.
beautiful, beautiful venue.
Mm.
And that would be a dream to one day be
Go
amongst
there.
those fortunate enough to perform there. Yeah.
Is there any dancers or other like would you like to collaborate with and dance
Mhm.
along with them?
Definitely. I mean, I since I'm still so new here in Vegas, it's I have performed with these locals. I'm in the shows with them who've been here and who've been doing this for, decades. So I would, really love to perform more, collaborate more with some local performers here. There's such amazing talent out here. And also, I would love to collaborate or assist with, we call them burlesque legends. So
Oh,
within
okay.
the industry, those are the icons from back in the day, if you will, who brought burlesque back. So there was a bit of a lapse in a few decades ago where burlesque wasn't as popular, and they kept going, and they paved the way for us to have this burlesque rebirth that we have now. I mean, you see burlesque everywhere. It's so popular, and it's thanks to those performers we get to do what we do, and that's why we honor them, and we have a few of them here in Las Vegas, and we I just feel so honored to to call them my friends, because we
Oh,
hang out. I had one of them over for dinner the other day, and to learn from them, because they have the real stories to tell. And
okay.
so to help them, help them. They still perform, some of them, at burlesque festivals, to help them with their acts. That's something I would love to do. Or just to be in the same show, on the same bill as some of my burlesque idols. That, of course, is always a goal.
That's cool.
Very cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks.
Is there a favorite routine of yours that you've done? Or is that a hard question to answer?
Oh, that's a hard question. I have one I currently really like. And that is it's a mashup. It's a song that starts out very classic and turns into a crazy rock tune into a Nine Inch Nails song. And,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
it starts with feathers and satin robe, and it ends in a complete black latex outfit. And it's
Ooh,
great. It's
Oh,
real
that
fun.
sounds cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
a fun
Can
number.
we say hot damn to that, Lisa?
Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hot
Hot damn.
damn. Yeah.
That's kind of our thing on this show. That's
Okay.
our saying. That's our
We
thing.
do hot damn, and we'd like to throw out some hearts.
Oh, thank you.
Can you share one with us, Steffi?
My mom isn't watching tonight, unfortunately, so she.
Oh,
But
so
we can
get to
definitely all still do that. We want to show everyone some love.
Hearts to
For-
mom.
hearts, hearts. Ah,
Yeah,
there we go.
she's pretty tired tonight and had to go to bed a little bit earlier. So,
Oh, okay. That's
but yeah,
understandable.
for everyone else that's watching, you are more than welcome to make a comment. If you're doing so through Facebook, please put your name next to your comment, because StreamYard is a little bit fussy with that. Not
For some
putting the
reason
actual
I can't
name.
get their names.
Yeah. So just put your name next to your comment, because we want to be able to address you and not just a Facebook user. That's what we do here.
Yeah, we're personable here.
We are. So how about we just go into some fun questions for now, and then we can come back to, you know, the main
some
event.
more questions and
Yeah.
everything.
So a fun question, Steffi, that I really like to ask: if you were stranded on a deserted island, what 5 items would you want to bring with you?
5. That's a lot. That's a luxury.
It is, because it used to be what 3 items would you bring with you?
3, yeah.
Everyone's like, well, that's a difficult. I mean, I can only pick 3. Okay, let's go to 5.
Let's
5 items.
I
Make it
watched
5.
my
Yeah.
I watched my fair share of Naked and Afraid. So
Oh,
that teaches you that you absolutely need a machete and and probably a pot and a fire starter. But on an island, what else? I mean, I would say, obviously there is no electricity, so that's a tough one. I think I would take my dancing shoes.
Ooh.
yes. That's a
They-
major necessity. You need to
It's
have
a
them.
necessity. That makes you happy. That gets you out of a funk.
That's right. That's right.
Might be better barefoot on the beach, but dancing shoes, I'm sure I'll find a hard surface somewhere.
Mhm.
That would be one. And then so I'm a picky sleeper. And I always need my eye mask and my earplugs. I cannot sleep without it. So I would need that.
Mm.
I'm the same. I either need a body pillow or just a body in general.
Yeah, I have a body pillow too. So if that can come too, I'd take that.
Sure, why not?
I have dogs. I have dogs to sleep with.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Lisa, how about your question?
If we're gonna take a tour,
Uh-oh.
and we're
shit.
gonna sit in a hot tub.
Every time she asks this question, she always says something different to bring it in.
I got to. It's just crazy. You're gonna be in a hot tub time machine, and you're gonna set the dial, and you're gonna go anywhere you want to go. Where are you going, Steffi?
That is a good one. That's a really good one. Also a very hard one because I love history, so it would be hard for me to pinpoint it down. But I love Egypt and I love ancient Egyptian history, and I think
cool.
I would transport myself back to ancient Egypt, First Dynasty, and in the palace of Ramses III, and just hang out in one of those parties.
There you go. Awesome.
That is, oh, that's a good one. We never had anyone like that before.
No, that was a real good one. Okay, we have to ask this question. It's a must or bust. Coke or Pepsi?
Fuck.
Coke.
Yes.
Oh well. That's okay. You're gonna get it.
Oh, am I?
Where's
You're not
my
the
whip
one with
at?
the whip, lady.
There it is.
Yeah,
There it
I found
is.
it. I found it. Yeah, we have to, because look, I'm a Coke drinker.
Uh-huh. Oh
She
yeah, Coke
she
Zero sugar.
prefers
That's the one I drink.
she
I'm a
prefers
Pepsi
her
drinker, but
Pepsi.
it's
See,
in
she's
this
even
cup.
better. Look, she even drinks the exact same one.
Yeah,
Not just Coca-Cola. She drinks this one. This is the
the
best
Zero.
one, Lisa.
Mhm.
Well,
Yep,
there
I
you
agree.
go.
Have to agree.
We do. We have this battle every freaking day.
We
She's a
gotta
Pepsi
ask. We
drinker.
just
I'm a
have
Coke
to.
drinker. It's just hilarious.
It's what we do.
And then we had one person a couple weeks ago say they don't drink Coke or Pepsi, but they drink Fanta. But that falls into a Coca-Cola product.
That's a Coca-Cola product. Yep, yep, yep.
So I still won that one.
You see, I like Coca-Cola when there's not Pepsi.
Yeah,
So
that's not a real oh whatever, Lisa.
I know.
So you said that you like a wide variety of different genres of music. I mean, you've been to your fair share of concerts, I'm sure. What was the first concert you ever went to, and who was it?
My very first concert was Bryan Adams.
Ooh.
My mom took me, I was 9, I think, in
nice.
Germany, and we went. It was a football stadium, huge, and back in the day, Bryan Adams and that tour had fans. Oh, look at the puppy! Oh my goodness! He had
She's
this
like,
this crane that would go on stage behind the drummer, and they would pick 100 fans out of the audience to go on there, and they picked my mom and I. And so my very first concert, I was right behind the drummer of Bryan Adams. I don't know who it was at the time. And I caught his drumstick. I mean, it was meant to be. I'm married to a drummer. You know, it was all meant to happen that way.
Yeah, it was meant to happen. Yep.
That was my very first and concert that I went to.
That is so cool.
Well, here's something fun that I'm now very curious about. I mean, obviously, you mentioned very briefly earlier that you are married and manage you're married to Lizzie Borden's drummer. You manage them. How did you meet Joey? I'm
We
curious.
met 2008 in Germany at a festival, heavy metal festival called Bang Your Head.
Okay.
And I was a go-go dancer, and I had my own agency, my own go-go dancing agency in Germany. And the Bang Your Head festival, they would always have after parties. And at the after parties in the village, they had go-go dancers. So I was the agency that provided all the dancers for those after parties.
Oh, okay.
And so they contacted me, the festival, Horst, he puts the festival on. They contacted me and said, hey, there's this band tomorrow. They need 2 go-go dancers. Do you have someone? And yeah, I basically, I didn't, because after parties in Germany, it's not like we close at 2 a.m. like they do here in the US. So we would go until 5 in the morning. And
wow.
Lizzie Borden that next day had their stage time was at like 12:30 p.m. So I said, no, I don't have anyone. All we're all booked, and we getting home at like 7. I don't think that anyone was going to want to come out at noon. So I'll do it. I'll do the gig. And I was actually able to, at the last minute, get another dancer. So I did that show with Lizzie Borden, and Joey and I met and love at first sight and long distance dating, and 3 years for long distance dating for 3 years. And then, yeah, now we've been together 15 years this year.
Wow.
Married for 11.
That's
amazing.
So cool. Wow.
Yeah.
And so were you married to him before you got involved as their manager? Like, how did that come about?
It all came together simultaneously. Actually, the whole being on tour with Lizzie Borden, that all happened while we were dating. Okay. So it became a part of that. You know, our long distance relationship, a lot of it was on the road, because with that first show, that dancing, that was so really well received. So they decided to make that a part of the show going forward, to have the go-go dancers.
Wow.
And
okay.
so I got to tour with them. And from 2008 onwards, we toured the world together, and then I moved to the States in 2011, and yeah, continued on from then on until now.
Awesome.
That's
And
super cool.
and from your time as their manager, what were some of the highlights? What were some of the most fun points in time that you were managing them?
Well, being a girl on tour with a band of five heavy metal guys all around the world, you're bound to have a buttload of fun. It's so
Sure.
so so fun touring with these guys, and we have so much fun on the road, traveling and seeing these cities, and we always make it fun. We always like to go sightsee. We this one of the funnest times I remember is we were in France, and we rented bicycles, and we
Oh.
drove through the city, um, drunk out of our minds on these bikes,
Oh my God.
and just had a blast. So to be able to see the world, and with family now. Lizzie is my brother-in-law, so
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's great.
That's
Yeah.
really
That
cool.
is so cool.
Aw.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. So you said so you met Joey in, remind me again, 2008, am I right?
2008 in the summer, yeah.
Okay. Now, were you touring with them pretty regularly up until you guys got married? I'm just trying to figure out, because I did see the boys, like I said, in Toronto
Mm-hmm.
back in 2011.
Right.
So I'm
So
wondering if you could have possibly been at that show. I'm not sure.
I wasn't, because I moved to the States in 2011.
Okay.
And if you're an immigrant, there is this short period of time when you're getting your papers, when you can't
Okay.
leave the country. And that was right when that show was happening. So I couldn't go to Canada.
Oh,
I
no.
had to stay here. I never had plans on moving to the States. This all came, completely threw off my trajectory of my whole life. So, but wherever love goes, right? But yeah, that was right in 2011 when I moved here, where I had to wait for my paperwork to process.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just wondering, because that was a pretty crazy show.
Yeah, I
And
I I think I was on that tour. I just stayed across the border
right,
when they did
right,
those shows, and then we continued on tour.
right. Yeah, because that was my first sort of exposure. I mean, I'd listened to heavy metal all the time, but my first exposure to it, like up close in person.
Hmm.
That's why I say it's kind of nuts being at a heavy metal show, Lisa. You got to do it.
That's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Fun time. Not what
It's
you
a
would
it's a
expect.
culture. It's a serious culture. Heavy metal. It's amazing.
I love it. I love it. I love dancing, banging my head, thrashing my head around. It's just
Yeah,
fun.
you get a head rush after that sometimes.
Yeah, and then the next day, the back of your neck hurts. It's like,
That
what did I
that
do?
it does. Yes.
What did I do? Yeah, and then right back in here, those muscles. It's like, oh.
Now, what was the last concert you went to?
Mm. Ooh. I gotta think. It wasn't. It must have been so recent. I go a lot of shows. The last one I just remember right now at the top of my head was Backstreet Boys in April.
You did? Oh,
Yeah, I am. Okay, so here's my secret. I'm a huge Backstreet Boys fan.
yes.
Always have been.
I love
Never
it.
stopped. Been to more shows than I can count. And living here in Vegas does come with the advantage they do perform here a lot.
Oh,
So I went to
cool.
quite a few shows, and the last one was in April. That's the last one I remember, but I want to say I've been to other shows. Oh, you know which one? Trans-Siberian Orchestra
Yes.
Oh, I bet you that was
in
really cool to
December. That was
see.
the
Oh,
December, early December, in California. That's the last one I
Okay,
went
so
to.
you wouldn't have
nice.
had like Chris Caffrey on that side. It was somebody else, right?
I don't remember. think so.
Long,
There's an East
long
Coast side and a
blonde hair.
West Coast
Yeah.
troop.
That's what I get confused so much with them. I love Trans Siberian Orchestra, but I've only seen them
So
on the
good.
East Coast. I've
Have
only
you
seen
seen
them on the East.
their Christmas show?
Oh yeah, several
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
That's us too. That's part of our like Christmas holiday tradition. We have to go see them.
Nice.
So
Oh,
good.
that's
You have to wait.
So
Have
good.
you've never seen it before, Lisa? Have you?
no.
You have to.
Absolutely
It's
have to.
it's
It's a
quite the
must
spectacle.
bucket list for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
quite a spectacle. It really is.
I can imagine. Yeah. That just hearing it, like when I see it on like Facebook or if someone's live, I get the goosebumps and I get the
Yeah.
Oh
ooh
gosh.
ahs. But I need
Yeah.
to be actually there to see it. I'm sure it's a woo kind of a feeling.
Well,
Yeah.
especially with them with their light show. Their
Oh yeah.
laser light show.
Oh,
You
okay.
can watch it on a giant TV screen. It will never do justice of being there and seeing those lights all around you. It's like a
Oh.
show that happens 360. So
It's
so
like
good.
all around you. Yeah.
So good.
Just
Yeah.
so cool.
ELO has nothing on TSO. That's what I have to say about that.
Wow.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, Lisa. She mentioned bucket list. Why don't you go with that question now?
Oh, sure. Yeah. What's the craziest thing that's on your bucket list?
Oh, what's the craziest thing on my bucket? I know if it's that crazy. I mean, those who know me closer know that I'm also pretty obsessed with Disney, and that I really want to go to all of the Disney parks in the world. So far, I've been
Oh,
to
nice.
3, so I have to make it over to Tokyo and Shanghai and Hong Kong.
I heard
Cool.
that the culinary experience down there is quite unique as well.
hmm
Yeah,
hmm Yeah.
that's awesome.
So
I
so
went to the
that's
one in Orlando. I went to Disney World in
Disney World.
Orlando. I was 5. No, I was 5. We went to Epcot. We went to MGM Studios. We went to all that. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I love Disney. My house is all Disney
What's your
kind of.
favorite Disney movie then?
I was getting ready to say, oh, I was going to ask that. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna show you one of my tattoos, and you tell me which one you think it
Okay,
is.
Little Mermaid.
Ah, there we go.
That's
Yay.
not Little Mermaid. Try
Ooh,
again.
okay. Can
Let's
you?
see.
Is there any way you can move a little closer to the
Here we
camera there?
go.
Mulan. No.
It's Elsa
Uh.
from Frozen.
Oh shit.
I
Oh,
have
that's
3.
awesome.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Frozen tattoos.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah, my son, he's 11, and he has autism. His favorite Disney movie, is Frozen.
Oh.
Those Frozen,
nice.
actually, Coco and Frozen are tied for first.
Okay.
He really liked Coco. I really liked, as a kid, I loved Pinocchio, and I loved the 101 Dalmatians
That's a good one
animated
too.
version.
Yeah. All the older classics are just
Yeah.
brilliant.
As for the character, like
I think
Disney.
it's safe to say that it's Elsa. Maybe, is that a fair statement? Favorite Disney character?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I live and breathe Elsa. I'm just For an adult, it's crazy how
Okay.
many Elsa things I collect.
Okay, so you're a fan of Elsa. Have you ever thought about doing a Frozen related routine, like maybe a Let It Go routine?
That would
Yes,
be cool.
I have. And here's the crazy thing that I don't know, my brain works in weird ways sometimes. I cannot bring myself to sexualize Elsa.
Gotcha. Ooh,
I am very protective. I'm very protective over Elsa. In Frozen. I don't know why, but I've cosplayed Elsa many times. I made the costumes she wears, and you know, done photo shoots in them and kids' birthday parties and whatnot. But I
Oh,
don't
so
think
cute.
I could
It's so
do
cool.
a burlesque routine to it. I just
It's like a block. Like no,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
no.
Maybe that will change one day, but as of right now, no.
could you
Okay.
do a routine to like another different, like a
Sure.
different Disney movie, or
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
like
so.
what?
Um, Good question. I don't know. Maybe I mean, maybe Beauty and the Beast, Belle could be a good one, could be a fun one to do.
Ooh,
Little Mermaid's been done, it's been done a lot. So
Right.
probably not that. I've seen some really good numbers. I don't like, necessarily like to copy what's been done, so I've
Sure.
seen,
Sure. Yeah.
um yeah, I probably Beauty and the Beast would be one I would look into, is that how can I execute that? Um
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. That's
Or
so cool.
Rapunzel maybe even because she's German.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the hair.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a long. It's. I've seen that wig in cosplay, and it's a pain in the. And yeah, it's like no, I don't know if I can. That's too much hair for a burlesque routine.
Yeah, that's true. You have
Yeah.
everything else to wear, and then you have the hair. It's like,
Yeah.
does it ever
So
get like extremely too hot up there on stage?
it can
Like
be. Yeah. I mean, spotlights can get warm, very very warm, and
warm? Yeah.
some of the festivals I've done with Lizzie Borden in the summer, the outdoor festivals. Let's say we did Rocklahoma,
Oh,
and
wow.
you're in Oklahoma in the summer on stage in the
Yeah.
lights.
Oh no, the
Yes,
lights. Yeah,
very, very
beaming
hot,
right down. Yeah.
very humid, very hot. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
it can get really hot. Need good makeup.
Yeah. That's true.
So and how do you work around that? Like, is there a special kind of makeup that you guys wear that doesn't like run in the heat? How does
I
that
think,
work out for you?
I mean, I think everyone has their own kind of preferences. I always find that, a good foundation, a good primer, does the trick for me. I put on a primer before I put on my foundation, and then seal it in with powder and then setting spray on top of that. So
Okay.
it really, I use primer for my eyelids as well, and I find with that my makeup really does stay on.
That's
Um,
Yeah.
good. That's
and I,
good.
I I also feel like invest in good makeup. I've tried my fair share of all kinds of brands, and the invest in good makeup.
What do you
And
recommend as sort of
What?
like
That's what I was
the
going to ask her. What
yeah.
would you
So
suggest?
the
Yeah.
there's
best the
there's
best
not
brand
one
that you
brand.
believe
I
in.
mean, I like Kat Von D's brand for their eyeshadows, and her eyeliners and her lips. But then lips, the Superstay from Maybelline, it's so
Yeah.
cheap you get at the drugstore, but that lipstick stays on. It stays on all day, all night. When you're performing, you're eating, you're drinking, it will stay on.
Yeah.
And
I
what
use
about a primer?
a primer. I use Urban Decay for that. And
Okay.
I have some lip glitter because the showgirls, we all have the glittery lips.
We all
Yeah,
And
have
I
to have
saw
some
your
sass.
picture. How do you get what kind of glitter do you use? I love glitter.
so I've discovered this amazing company. They're called Stay Golden, and
Oh,
they actually
golden.
allowed me to work with them to test out their stuff. And actually, if you I don't mean to advertise, but if you do end up getting something from them and you put in a code Steffi Scott, you get a discount. But it
Wow.
is really good quality glitter. They
Nice.
have a primer, a setting thing that goes underneath, and it really does its job.
So
It's
it
really good.
makes that glitter stick stay right
Makes it
there.
stick,
Yeah.
and it's like kiss proof. It will not come off. So that's good.
Ooh.
Hot
Yep.
damn.
Try it out over time.
I've got to give that a try.
Ooh. Hot damn.
Yeah, yeah. Hot damn, hot damn.
That's awesome. All right, so we are running out of time. Looks like we've got another little few minutes to play with. So, what is next for Steffi Scott, as far as burlesque goes, and kind of tell us what's coming up with Lizzie Borden as well. Is there anything cool coming up?
Sure. With Lizzie Borden, yes, we are currently working on. The boys are finalizing working on a new album coming
Oh,
out,
cool. Good, good.
and sometime this year. And then there's a show in April at the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Hollywood, California, West Hollywood, and at the anniversary party. So I'll be there, and the boys will be there performing. So that's next for Lizzie Borden. And as for me, I'm going to take this month of January to develop some new routines. that I want to do. I'm going to be at a few shows, but just not performing. And I'm going to be a stage kitten at a couple of shows, and that's basically it's more of an assistant to the show. When you not want to be on the stage, you come on after. You help around with the show. It's fun. It's fun gig because you still get to meet get to see all
For
your
the
friends
people.
in the
Yeah.
performer industry.
Yep.
And
So
then I have my next show I think is in February 9th here in Vegas. So I have a calendar on my Facebook, on my Instagram, where I put in all my shows coming
Well,
up.
whatever you have coming up, whether it's with Lizzie Borden or with yourself, feel free to post it on Mistress Business and also on Front Row Promotions. We
yes,
always like
Okay.
to make
Yeah.
sure that you get out there and that
Thank
we
you.
let our listeners know what you're up to as well.
absolutely.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
here to
you.
promote. Yes.
Love that.
Lisa, is
Thanks
there
so much.
anything further from you?
Let me see. I had one question. I had a few. Um, oh, do you also sing?
Sing. Well, I wish I could. I
Me
gave it
too.
a fair shot. I really tried. I gave it a fair shot because my philosophy is, before you say I can't do this, at least you should have tried and you should have done your best in trying.
Right.
So I gave it a fair shot. I got a
Absolutely.
professional um, singing instructor, and I took like 4 or 5 lessons, and just decided it's not for me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm okay. So no.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't did the lessons. I just sing along with my songs and I think I don't know. But I'm not gonna ever never say never. I will try to give it a whirl one day. But yeah.
I've sang. I used to be in a children's choir
She's
Oh
many
got a good
wow,
years
voice.
ago.
good
Yeah.
for you. That's
I,
good.
I
Not,
mean, I try. I don't have the best voice in the world, but I try. But yeah, no, the children's choir was super fun. Not a lot of people know this. So I'll share this with you guys here. Back in, I think it was 2002, I was with this children's choir, and we were one of the half dozen choirs chosen to sing for Queen Elizabeth when she came to town.
wow, that's amazing. What an achievement. Wow.
So that was something, and I'll never forget this. Like, it was her golden jubilee, so she was celebrating 50 years on the
Mm-hmm.
throne, and Toronto was one of the most visited cities for her and the royal family. So that was super cool that she came to us to celebrate. There were several vendors that day, like farm animals and stuff. There was so much going on, and then there were choirs that were performing throughout the day. And then towards the end of her visit, I remember there were several chairs set up where she sat with all these dignitaries, several of them
Mm-hmm.
that flew up here for the event. And as she made her exit, all the choirs that were chosen were lined up, and she passed by. There was a red carpet, and she passed right in front of us. I would say, distance-wise, she was probably about 7, 8 feet away from me.
Wow. You got
It
up
was
close and
something else.
personal.
She was, yeah, and she would look beautiful. She was dressed in baby pink. Her coat was pink, hat, shoes, everything was pink.
She
And I
always
will
dressed
never
so
forget
cute.
this. I will never ever forget this. As she was passing by all the choirs and they were singing for her, she just had the biggest smile and the biggest glow about her.
Oh.
I love
It
that.
was something else. It was
Oh,
something else.
thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. It's a beautiful
Oh, for
story.
sure. I love telling that story. Not a lot of people know about it. I don't usually bring it up, but I figured it's relevant. So
She does
Yeah.
have a good voice. Don't let her fool you. I love that story you just told though and everything. But she does have a good voice. She'll be singing stuff and I'm like, I'm just taken by it, I'm like, oh.
Oh,
well,
Yeah.
thank you.
great.
You're welcome. You're welcome. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a picture, and then I want Candy to take a picture, and then I'm gonna fix it and blend it together. So
Okay.
Okay.
we are gonna get this heart picture.
All right. Sounds
All right.
good.
So
All
I'm
right,
gonna
Steffi.
I'm gonna take your pictures first.
Hang on. It has to be lined up. Okay, that'll do.
There we go.
There we go. Over here.
All righty. Hang on. Wait a minute. 1 minute. Okay. So then Candy's gonna take mine and yours, Steffi. And then I do magic, and I'll put it all together.
A little bit higher up there, Lisa. There you go. All right. 1, 2. There we go. Got it.
That's our trademark. That's what we do. And
Cute.
we just want to let you know we love you and we thank you so much for coming to Front Row Promotions. And I
Thank
do have a couple
you.
more questions. You're welcome. And you're welcome to come back anytime and promote on our pages anytime.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What would, if someone just starting out, then they want to become a dancer or a singer, or not the singer, but the I meant to say modeling, not the singer, but what advice would you give them?
I would say keep pushing forward, keep moving forward. Don't get discouraged, even if people tell you no. Keep going, keep moving, keep following your passion, and ask questions. Ask many, many questions, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And even to take it a step further, find a mentor if you can. You know, if find someone who's been doing what you want to do, and start asking them questions. And that would be my advice. Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing. Where can you be found? Plug all your socials. If you've got a website,
Yeah.
Where can all of our viewers find you?
So I think the easiest is if you find me either through Facebook or Instagram under Steffi Scott, just one word, Steffi Scott, and that is usually the easiest way to find me. And then on my Instagram, I have this link tree, also under Steffi Scott, and that takes you to all my calendar, my performance calendar is on there, and so yeah, I would say probably Instagram is the easiest way to find me.
Cool.
Awesome.
And real quick, can you plug Lizzie Borden and all their socials as well?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. It would be Real Lizzie Borden is the Instagram, LizzieBorden.com, the website. Also Facebook and YouTube and all the, under those names, you can find us all.
It's him as well. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add or say, or anything that you want to mention?
I'm just so thankful you guys had me on the show. Thank you so much for your
You're
support.
welcome. You're
And
welcome.
yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We love you. And
Thank
like
you.
I said, you're more than welcome to come back and share away on our pages.
Will do. Thank
Anything
you.
you got going on. So Lisa's gonna put a bow on this one, as our friend Jay Oakley says. We love him. Jay from the Metal Summit. He's also a big Lizzie.
Yay! We love you.
He's also a big Lizzie Borden fan, by the way. He's got it. Well, he's a fan of your boys, but he's also got a tattoo on his neck that says 40 wax on it.
Oh,
Yep.
I like that.
You should
Cool.
see him. He's got tattoos all over him. I'm sure you met him that night at the Metal Summit when we were there.
Yeah, I think I remember.
He was
I
like
think
a
I
little
remember
kid
that 40 wax tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a little kid in the candy store. He was like, "Oh, and can you sign this?" Oh, it was just so cute watching him, And I enjoyed the time being there. And I remember you talking about something about being on a boat. I forget the rest of the details, but I remember something about that. It was about a boat, but
May have been one of the cruises maybe we performed at.
yeah, I think it's what it was. So, but we always have a good time, and we're gonna let you go. So I know you're a pretty busy woman and beautiful woman.
Stay on for a
Thank you
minute though.
so
When
much.
Lisa goes offline, just stay on here for a minute because we'll chat for a second.
Will do.
All right. So
Thank you guys for coming to the
Thank
show.
you.
Steffi, we love you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks
You're
so
welcome back
much.
You're welcome.
Stay amazing, stay beautiful, and most of all, stay safe out there.
Exactly. Thank you for
Likewise.
coming to Mistress Business, and please come again. Ding. All right.